leaders create legacy of impact and income through the channel of entrepreneurship and do more good in the world. You will get access to all our amazing speakers today and walk away with great wisdom and inspiration so that you can level up yourself and your business to the next level. All right, everyone, welcome back to another Life School event. Today we're back with another virtual summit for the new season, actually. So happy September for those of you that are settling in with the new fiscal year, running around, the kiddos going back to school. For those of you that are parents, so I'm so excited to be back with you with another amazing panel that I love to really host conversations around aligning your life and business on purpose. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how to build a purposeful life and business. And of course, through the knowledge and expertise of our amazing experts, I'm sure you will walk away with amazing content that you can utilize in your day-to-day journey as an entrepreneur, as a successful entrepreneur, and someone that is driven by your heart and wants to make an impact and create a legacy. The Life School actually helps purpose driven visionary leaders grow legacy purpose driven businesses through branding, marketing, sales, systems, and team so they can maximize the impact and the income and do more good in the world. Right? We're all heart driven, we're all innerly aligned leaders and conscious leaders. And through the work of our sometimes our chosen vocation or our calling, we like to add value, really contribute towards other people's lives. Just to remind you of the Life School, the vision is to empower CEOs to realize their life's purpose through legacy entrepreneurship. Our mission is to become the most influential global community in purposeful entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship in impacting the world to become a better place. And then lastly, of course, our values are all about community connection, service, growth, freedom, and contribution. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up to my beautiful stage all the amazing guest speakers that are joining us today. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to have you all here. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time and also all the wisdom and knowledge that you will share with us today. So I will start with my first speaker, Angie Giltner. I apologize ahead of time for the name confusion or if I'm butchering your names. Angie, thank you so much for being here. And if you could just start with a 1 minute introduction, what is it that you do and how did you get, how did you get into the work that you do?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to be on here. So, I got into this line of work out of some adversity, and I have one heck of a triumph story to where I turned something adversarial into a massive positive. That was 10 years ago, and I haven't looked back since. I am a master business coach and I only work with female professional coaches. And my superpower is client acquisition. So thank you again.
Wow, love that. Well, thank you so much, Angie, for sharing that. Another beautiful business coach helping entrepreneurs, especially women professionals, as you said, to really build an empire and build something meaningful to them so they can, make more impact, I'm sure, and also the income side, which really aligns with business growth, right? Because money is a tool and it is definitely needed. So client acquisition, I love your specialty. What can you share with us around that, Angie? What's your process or framework that you feel will add value to our audience that you get your clients' transformation?
Yeah, thank you. So I have a proprietary program called M3. It's called Mind Motivation and Mission Performance Method for Coaches. And the cornerstone of client acquisition is understanding your avatar. And I walk all of my coaches through a deep process of truly understanding their avatar. They actually create a visual image of who their avatar is, and they get into their pain points, their likes, their desires, how they make purchasing decisions, where they go to get the answers to any question that they might have, and all of the other types of traditional things like the demographics. But we dive deep into the psychographics and They walk away knowing their avatar as intimately as they know their partner, their best friend, their spouse, significant other, and every action that they do in their business development is directed specifically towards that avatar.
Mm. Well, yeah, I mean, laser focus around your avatar. It sounds cliche, overdone, oversaid, but I think that's an exercise you do at every stage of business. I'm
Right.
year 5, and I also help entrepreneurs grow their businesses. And sometimes I know it's one of those exercises that, well, I already know my avatar, but it's so important to be laser focused on that. And we evolve as entrepreneurs, right? Every new phase and stage of business does require laser focus around the market that you're serving, right? With the messaging and everything else that comes around that. So, Angie, I'd love to pick your brain around client acquisition because obviously lack of consistent clients is the biggest pain point for a lot of business owners, for a lot of small businesses. So, what are some tips that you could share besides what you just shared with the clarity laser focus on the client avatar that you think will help someone that might be having that pain point right now, maybe inconsistent clients in their business?
A lot of times, coaches think that they are their avatar. Well, my avatar is me. I'm that person. Well, that brings you way too close to your business, and you've got to be able to separate that. And just because a message resonates with you doesn't mean that's going to resonate with your avatar. And so there might be bits and pieces of you in your avatar, but you are not your avatar. And that gets a little ouchy for some coaches because they have built their whole platform around themselves. And so making sure that you truly understand how they like to spend their free time. Where do they spend their money? What things are important to them in every aspect of their life, in their spiritual life, in their health and well being, in their personal lives, their business lives, their family lives, their community lives? You need to understand all of those intimate details. Um, I mean, thinking about even going as deep as the types of music that they like to listen to. Where do they go to go shopping? You know, what types of things are they shopping for? And it is, you just need to get down into the weeds, get really nitty gritty with those details. Those are the game changers because at the end of the day, you want your avatar to walk away going, they get me. They're speaking my language. They're speaking directly to me. They absolutely get me. That's what's going to get you those clients.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Because it's so easy to just always look for strategies, right? It's like to give me the next thing, the leads. How do I find these clients, right? So I think what you said is deeper than that, right? Understanding really, it reminds me of know thyself and know the audience that you want to serve. So I think it's so connected. But breakthrough, you don't always have to be your avatar. I think that's what I got from you. So thank you so much, Angie, for sharing that. I will come back to you also towards the end of our summit as well. I appreciate all the amazing information. And I'm going next to Andy Guilla. Guilla? Andy, welcome.
Hello, how are you doing? Yeah, so my name's Andy. I'm over in the UK, and I'm known as the business duck herder. And it's my job to help you get your business ducks in a row. What does that mean? It's about getting back to basics. And I work with sole traders, small business owners who run their own businesses. And one of those things that we often do is we overcomplicate business. We overcomplicate the way we do things. So I'm here to help you get back on track and get those business ducks in a row.
Mm. Well, I love the work you do because it's for so confusing for so many entrepreneurs. What are the right ducks to focus on, so that we also get the right priorities moving forward in the business? Because it's so easy to because we're so independent to be so disfocused in this journey. So, if
Yeah.
you could share with us, Andy, what are some of the most important ducks that you feel we need to have in order? I guess generally based on the work that you do, what is it that you've seen? Obviously, it's specific to everyone based on their business phase and stage, but what have you seen as are the most important ducks that we should have in a row, and for us to have a laser focus on those ongoing.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I'll say is everybody's different. And as a business coach, my passion and my thing I really do is I listen to you first. For me, coaching doesn't come in a box. There isn't one size fits all. But the major areas, the major ducks that we all end up dealing with at some point is the sales, is business networking, is time management, communication, and planning. So like Angie was just saying about your client avatar in sales, it's understanding your client avatar. It's understanding people's journey. So how have people got to you and bought off you in the past, and how can you do more of that? And what's the solution you offer, not the product you offer? So what does, who your ideal client, what keeps them up at night? What are the issues they worry about, and how can you solve their issues? On the networking side of things, it's about your business pitch. How good is your 60-second pitch? Does it resonate with people? Where are you networking? Are you networking in the right places to meet your client avatar? Time management, one of the big ones for so many people out there. I always recommend no more than 5 things on your to-do list, and make sure you eat your frog every day. If you don't know what that means, give me a shout. Communication-wise, it's about understanding your personality type and the personality types of the other people around you and your clients, and how you can adapt and change to make sure that you get yourself in line with your clients. Make sure you follow up. And remember, you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen to what they're telling you. It's gold dust. And finally, planning. And that's making sure that you are making goals daily, weekly, monthly, 5-yearly, and that you're reviewing what you do every so often, so that we keep it fresh, we keep it clean, and we keep it relevant. So sales, networking, communication, planning, and time management are the big ducks I always say to people, keep an eye on.
Well, I love that. Thank you so much for that clarity, because I think sometimes we need reminders, right? Because there's so many fires that comes towards us as entrepreneurs daily that it's easy to lose focus and purpose, right? And I'm a big believer on working on purpose. So really keeping those priorities close at eye as we are moving through our day-to-day system operations and the things that we do, whether you're a solopreneur or an entrepreneur or a business leader that's grown quite a successful company. Well, thank you so much, Andy. I'm going on to my third guest speaker, Alia, the love coach. Alia, thank you so much for coming on. Nice to meet you. And if you could share a little bit around what you do and how did you get into the work that you're doing now?
Hello, everybody. This is Alia, the Love Coach, and I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So the work I do, I help individuals find their one true love within them. I teach unconditional self-love. I am a coach, and I'm also a pranic healer. So in my practice, I have combined energy healing and coaching together to facilitate inner healing, alignment, and then falling in love with our soul. So a bit of my work is spiritual. Towards the end of my program, all we are talking about how I'm going to live as a soul and how I'm going to be in love with all of me. The way I got into it was I needed to heal myself. I fell into depression, like really, really deep, dark place in 2015. And my formal career was cytogenetic technologist, very different, working in a lab, doing research. And I went for therapy. It helped a little bit, but just as a scientist mind, I had a problem that I needed to solve now. And I wanted to get to a place of healing and wholeness. And I kept looking. I was looking for what I offer now. I couldn't find it, so I created it. So now I work one-on-one with my clients, where I really provide them that, hand-holding experience to come out of that darkness where sometime we can end up and come to a place where they become the creator of their life. And there's no setback. Yeah, problems come, but they know exactly why they're happening, what they are here to do for me, and how to navigate through them. So it's a very deeply empowering experience to go through it.
Well, your work is very foundational because that's where it all begins, right? Falling in love with ourselves. So, very catchy. How do you fall in love with your soul? What are some of the things that you have seen doing this work day to day, day in and out with your clients that you like to share for our audience? What are some advice or tips or foundational pillars that you've seen sort of repeat all the time that you feel you want to share with others?
Sure. So, one of the things that I have seen, because I work with clients who have experienced some kind of trauma, whether it's in relationship or it was, however it happened, and that creates a separation between us and our higher self. Then we kind of get stuck in our physical body, in our senses, our nervous system is out of balance. So, as we start doing the process of coming home, coming inward, coming into me, and not being so focused outward, it starts with acceptance, accepting exactly how I am, and not even expecting myself to be any different. It involves self forgiveness, understanding whatever actions I did take or did not take, that's exactly what my soul was here to do. And then really tapping into that power, becoming aware of it. I do take my clients through a process where they start activating their non-physical senses, and there's three. We have five physical senses, and as those senses start to kind of activate, because now they are nurturing it every single day, which requires spending dedicated amount of alone time with yourself, maybe doing meditation, questioning every single thought that goes in our mind through a very specific process that I teach. And they start to see, this is my conditioning, this is my soul, and now my job is to stay with my soul and understand and be compassionate towards my conditioning all at the same time. So doing that every single day, now they know exactly how to create the next moment. I'll give you a very quick example. One of my clients was hesitant to share something with their partner because they are afraid of judgment. And I was telling them, when you do that, that is when you're going to be connected with more of your light. But the fear, the conditioning is saying, don't do that. The person is going to get upset. So, I gave her the task, like, today's the day, you're going to do it. But we came up with such a wonderful plan where her nervous system is going to be feeling safe, and he will experience psychological safety through that conversation too. So no one is getting triggered. And I know when she's gonna go through that experience and we're gonna be on the other side tomorrow morning, she's gonna be more closer or more tapped into her soul. So it's very intimate work.
What a beautiful process. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that knowledge and information. Yeah, I mean, it is a process for sure. And I find that every level and phase and stage of growth, as we evolve as human beings, there is new areas that show up that we need someone to guide us through the process ongoing. So love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, Aliyah. Very nice to have met you as well. Thanks so much for sharing that. Moving on to my next beautiful guest speaker, Shay Kalu Prophet. Welcome, Shay. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me so much. Hi, everyone. I am Shay, and I am the audience expander. So that's the name I go by because guess what I do? I do expansion through paid ads, through paid traffic, through traffic that will come to you. So if you are a high ticket coach or an expert and you have already gone through your organic process, because it does have to be something that you've done organically, help people. So I take them from helping them and expanding the audience, because I find that there is a point at a time where you do need to actually go above and beyond what your your organic traffic will take you. So we all know that Facebook only really displays about 5 to maybe about 7% of traffic to who you're talking to, right? So we want to get you connected to the right audience. So that's what I do. I am the CEO and the digital marketing expert at my company, which is called Align Integrated Solutions. So nice to meet everybody.
Beautiful. How did you get into this work?
Yeah, so I actually worked professionally for about 10 years doing this for financial companies. So big name corporations. I've been doing this for quite some time, been very successful doing this already. So I moved into the small business market because I knew that that was a space that I often see people run into that wall that they don't talk about, which is that they've, reached their organic reach. And so now paid ads make sense, right? So I created what was called the Authentic Connection Blueprint to do this for businesses, and it's really been quite successful.
Wow, beautiful. Quite impressive experience that you have there. So that would be actually my question to you. I'm sure, my audience be curious about that. So where do we start? How do we know we've exhausted the organic part of building our business? And how do we know that that's, we need to look into ads? And what is the process that you take your clients through, if you could share with us? I mean, not the details, but obviously the bigger foundational pieces of the education aspect of what entrepreneurs need to know before they invest into ads for their business.
That's a great question. So you're right. So I do ask a series of questions when it comes to making sure that clients are ready to move forward. So if you have, how long have you been running your program or your service? Have you actually helped people, get results? Have you actually taken people through services that, again, at the end that people can see exactly what you've done? And, when people have said that, yes, that they've done this organically, they have to be generating leads organically. That's kind of how you already know that your system and what you're doing works. So that's the first basis that I actually want to make sure before I take people to the next step. And then also when I'm doing that, I want to make sure that when I'm speaking with a potential, client or someone I think could move forward, that would be making sure that they have truly honed in on a proven offer. So a proven offer, you can't take when I think about paid ads, it is going to be an organic content that's successful, that we're putting money behind it. So remember, that's really what paid traffic is, right? I've done this organically and I'm doing well doing it organically, but I just need more people to see me. I need a bigger audience, right? I need to expand. I feel like I'm not getting any more new leads, or I want to do it even faster, right? Because that's what paid traffic does. It expands the audience for you so that you can target people just like you've already helped into the next phase. So what I do and what I would do with someone who, again, has that proven offer, who has their messaging down, who really has already gotten everything together, and now it's just the aspect of, I just want more. I'm not really moving as fast as I want. What I do is I take them through a system, right? That's been really, really effective, and it's called, again, the Authentic Connection Blueprint. I want people to still be in their power. I want them to still be in their authority. I don't want them to do things that don't feel natural to them. So I understood that a lot from, again, my lead management experience for previous companies, and I realized that it was time to kind of make it so that it's tailored to each and every client. And so what I would do is I would take them through their proven offer. That's the first step. And then we get what I call your power. We're able to attract through the ads from what I call power content, right? So we create power content from what you're already doing. This is really
Shay, I'm not sure if that's on our end or yours, but I see that, the screen is frozen. Shay, are you still there? All right, so we'll come back to Shay. Amazing information. And hopefully Shay straightens out the audio there. I'm going to my next guest panel speaker, Lisa Figgins. Lisa, thank you so much for coming on. So nice to see you again. Looking forward to having you share a little bit around the work you do as well.
Well, thank you so much for the invitation today. I love it. And I love that we are all making time for something like this, which is important. And that's what I focus on. I am Melissa Figgins. It's Melissa without the M-E because it's not about me. And I help busy Christian women to discover you really do have all the time you need for what you're called to, right? But what I find is when I ask people, how's life lately? Do you know what I hear most often? Some form of busy, always busy, staying busy, life is busy, right? And as I watch, I notice that not only has this become the norm, but it's also becoming something that we're just trying to keep up with this pace of everything in our life, juggling our business and our marriage and our kids, whether they're in the house or not, and our wellness, and even finding time to have fun and take care of the laundry, and all these things are calling for our attention all day long, and we're just like squirrel, right? All squirrel brain. We're chasing squirrels all day long, and we're super scattered, and we wonder why we get to the end of the day and go, oh my goodness, what just happened? What did I even get done today? What's and then we get up and do it all over again the next day. And I love that you called this how to build a purposeful life, because I help women to not make it about productivity, but to make it about purposivity, right? It's not about just doing things. It's about doing the things that we're called to and making the best use of the time we have, because here's the honest truth. No matter how much you want an extra hour in your day, you don't get it. We all get 24 hours. And so it's more about how we steward that time, how we use that gift of time to invest in the things that matter most and what we're called to. That is really what makes the biggest difference.
Yeah, so much alignment. I love that. I love the work you do, Lisa, because it's so important. It's such a pain point for a lot of entrepreneurs, especially. So based on the work that you do day to day with your clients, Lisa, what are some of the things that you've seen happen the most? And if you could share some advice around how do you manage your time? How do you work on purpose? How do you live on purpose, first of all, before you even get to the work that we do every day? So what are some of those common pillars that you've seen in your work that you could share with us?
Yeah, well, common things that happen is that we are literally going from sun up till sundown, right? As soon as our feet hit the floor, or maybe even before that, we are doing something for someone, and not taking the time to make sure that we are filled up. I think multitasking is another common problem that we fall into, that we think, oh, I can do this while I do this, while I do this, right? Like, how many of us are guilty of having our phones next to us while we're on, a call, or we're doing something else, and that message comes in. So, I'm just real quick gonna respond to this or do this. They say every time you change your focus, it takes a full 20 minutes for your brain to fully go back to what you were doing. So we are literally wasting about a third of our day just because we're trying to multitask, and we're letting all these distractions, some of them from our phones, a lot of them just from, the world around us, and honestly, what's going on inside of us, really kind of rob us of that. And then I think, a lot of times we fall into this, like, I'm just reacting. I'm in reaction mode, survival mode. This request comes in, this demand comes in, this fire needs to be put out, and we start feeling like we're everywhere, but we're not really anywhere. Have you ever felt that? Where like you've been somewhere and you're like, okay, physically my body is here, but my brain is somewhere else. And what really was kind of a checkpoint for me was like, I would be with my kids, right? My body was there because my little boy wanted to play Legos, or my daughter wanted to play Barbies, or whatever it was, but my mind was not really there. And I was only half present with them because I was thinking all about all the other things that I could be doing, or I should be doing, or I need to do next. And I wasn't just being present in that moment, right? My purpose in that moment would have been to be with my kids, or to be with that client, or to be taking care of my wellness, and things like that. And so what I find then is that the key is to really get into our heart first, because we make time for the things that we value. Right? Like if I told you that I'd give you $1 million if you give me 3 hours, you would find a way to find 3 hours in your day. And yet we say all the time, I don't have time. There's never enough time. If only there was time, when I have the time, right? And so we really dive into our heart first about what really matters in this season. And I take women through 8 key areas in our life. Your faith walk, I believe that's the foundation. Your family, your friendships, your work or service, whether that's paid or unpaid, that would include your business, your stewardship, which would be your finances, your wellness, your passions. Yes, there's time for that. And your dwelling, right? Just the household things that need to happen, and having a home that's inviting. And how do we pay attention to those things in such a way that we don't feel like we're running all day long, but that there's a spaciousness, to it. So we identify what matters, right? So we're taking care of that. And then we go into the calendar. And I like to say you want to own your time. So if I have just a minute, I'll just share with you kind of my own acronym, right? The first thing you have to do is you have to declare your off time, which I know sounds the opposite. If you're trying to get stuff done, you're going to say, when are my work hours? But here's the thing. If you don't take time to refill and fill up, you can't keep pouring out, and you're not going to be very productive. you're going to be resentful and distracted and exhausted and all of that. So you've got to mark off that off time first, ideally morning and evening. And it usually should not include this thing, because this is not refilling. Let's be honest, it's distracting. The second thing is the W, decide what matters, right? What matters in this moment, or what matters in this day, or what matters in this week. And then give that thing that matters most your first attention, your best attention, instead of all the little random things. And then the N is nothing else. Here's where we have to be like a mama bear, right? We have to protect our priorities, because if we don't, guess what? Whether it's the people around us or the world around us, they're going to insert their opinions, their ideas, their thoughts, the things that they want, right? And then we're going to feel like, oh my goodness, I never have time, right? Because we're giving it away to all these less important things, and we're letting it be scattered. So that's what we work on. As we go into your heart first, then we go into your calendar of how do we actually live this out and be purposeful instead of just being productive.
Yeah. Well, Lisa, you cover pretty much all the areas of our lives. And this is such a struggle for so many of us. I could raise my hand with everything you said. But yeah, I mean, working on purpose, living on purpose, and being mindful. Mindfulness, I feel like it's the mindfulness practice, right? Just being aware, being mindful of what we do day to day. Yeah, it's a lifelong learning sort of practice for sure. So thank you so much for sharing all the amazing work that you do as well. And I will definitely come back to you at the end. So stay tuned. And I think Chevy is here to get her final thoughts actually on investing on paid traffic for our business. So let me, okay, not yet. So Chevy's probably trying to come back. I'm going to go to Elise next then. Elise Smith, thanks so much for coming on, and looking forward to hearing a little bit around the work you do as well.
Awesome. You have a powerhouse of speakers here, and I'm honored to be here today. So I am Elise Smith, Christian business strategist, and I get to empower Christian women entrepreneurs to be able to reach their sales goals by partnering with God, empowering their mindset, and utilizing biblical business strategy. So what I do is I take Fortune 500 company principles that are working for the big guys, and we look at them through the lens of the Bible so that you not only reach those goals that God has put on your heart, but you gain a closer relationship with your Heavenly Father in the process.
Well, faith and business, I think they go hand in hand for sure. So I love the niche you have there, Elise. So if you could share with us some strategies or some practices, so to speak, how do we align that, our business growth, and then really practice more of the faith aspect or the spiritual health of our journey, so to speak, that you probably have seen from the work you do daily?
Absolutely. I think, first of all, it starts with decompartmentalizing our lives, right? Because we have like our spiritual life and our personal life and our business life. And the fact of the matter is that we want to take down those walls. We want to make sure that we're including God in everything that we're doing. And so one great way to do that is what I teach of daily daddy-daughter time. I work with Christian women entrepreneurs, so you can say this is daily daddy-son time if you want to as well, if you're a gentleman. But really, it's all about taking time for God at the beginning of your day. And this could be at the beginning of your physical day. It could be at the beginning of your work day, whatever works for you, but really putting Him first so that He can bless you abundantly. And what that really looks like is starting with prayer, whether that's prayer or meditation or taking a walk outside, whatever you do to connect with your higher power. And then taking those gratitudes and those challenges to Him. Start with gratitude. What are you thankful for? Because I feel like gratitude is the same level as faith and hope and spirituality in general. It just puts us on that higher level to find those answers that we're looking for. So gratitude is the first step. The next step is the challenges that we're experiencing. What are the challenges that you're going through right now? I don't know about you, but I'm a stuffer. And so I like to stuff things down when challenges and struggles and trials come up, I'm like, oh, no, I got this. I just push it down and pretend like it's not there. But the fact of the matter is we need to give that space. And it's best if we can give that over to our God, Jesus Christ, our higher power, whatever that looks like for you. And so literally bring those challenges and those trials to him every single day. Acknowledge that they're there and have a brainstorming with God session. That's something that we teach as well, to be able to help identify ways to get over those trials and challenges. And then from there, ask God, what is his message for you today? And that is going to help you to identify the 3 tasks that God wants you to focus on, which may not always fit the tasks you want to focus on. But if you could have a checklist from God that says, these are the 3 things I want you to focus on, and no matter what happens in your day, you are successful because you accomplished those 3 things, that is powerful. So when we put God first in our lives and our businesses and partner with him in everything that we're doing, we will have that guidance and we won't feel so lonely in business.
Powerful stuff. I love the alignment. I have seen personally how important spiritual health is, feeding and nurturing our soul to business growth as well, because a lot of times we're trailblazers. We don't always know. We're carving our own path. So leaning into faith when there's so much uncertainty, and sometimes you can go into the fear aspect of things, especially if things don't go our way all the time, which is natural process of growth. I know leaning on faith is really, really important, despite what everybody believes, right? I think that's really powerful stuff, the way that you have lined out your business. But thank you so much. Nice to have reconnected with you again, and looking forward to chatting with you at the end as well. And moving on to Shay is here. Shay, I would love to gather your final thoughts on what you wanted to send us the message before our disconnection. Technology.
Sure. And thank you. I don't know what happened there. I think we've got a lot of stuff going on. The kids are using technology. Got some kids home today. But anyways, thank you. I jumped back on because I first of all, I enjoyed listening to each and every one of you. So I wanted to hear what everyone had to say. And then I just wanted to, basically give just a very quick bullet points about why I think paid traffic really should be part of a marketing strategy. A lot of people, it's kind of like this dirty word, oh, paid traffic, but it's really not. It's meant to propel you to the next level, right? It's meant to take you from the 5% to the 80%. That's what you're doing. That's the shift you're making when you go into paid traffic. So it's really something to consider. And it's not quite as, I think, over the top as people tend to think it is when it comes to the financial part. But when it comes to what I do to help people kind of prepare for this moment and to be ready for it and to make this the most impactful transition, is that I'm going to take them through a 4-step system. And it's really important to go through that and not just to kind of willy-nilly go into ads without knowing what you're thinking about and how you're going to approach it. And so that 4-step system, again, called the Authentic Connection Blueprint, is going to allow us to go from your proven offer through your messaging, through your funnel and funnel setup, which is where you'll invite people to come in, and then your conversion process. So all parts of those all parts of those steps of making sure that you are ready to actually launch an ad is really important, right? Because they're going to have to go through that. They're going to have to see what your offer is. They're going to have to go through messaging that aligns, that is that's strategic when it comes to paid strategy. And then also, again, going into that funnel process, making sure that looks good for you, making sure that you're comfortable, and making sure that there's no barriers there, right? When it comes to, again, driving traffic and being inviting your audience back into to really engaging with you. And then also, I think that the conversion process, once again, is where we see that sometimes there's kind of a hiccup, right? When you're ready to talk to somebody, what is it appointments that you want? Is it discovery calls? How are you going to assess if this client is someone that's ready to move forward with you, right? So all parts of those phases, believe it or not, have to actually be part of what we consider when we're talking about a paid strategy. And I think that, people tend to think, I'll just put up an ad and it's going to work. But when people say ads don't work, it's because your strategy didn't work. It's not the ads that aren't working, it's your strategy. And so a lot of times when I talk to people, oh, I just did this and I did that. And I said, no. We're going to go through these 4 stages. And once these are all nailed down and we launch the ad, you're going to be unstoppable, because we're going to do power content when we go through this. And it's going to be something that aligns with you, aligns with who you're looking for. And, if you have all of these stages set up at the end, you're going to be, deciding who to work with and who not to work with.
Yeah, it's like opening up the right faucet. Strategy is so important. I know so many people give up on ads because they just lost money because of lack of the process. There is a process to getting this stuff right. So I love that you do that work and you're so laser focused with all your experience. So thanks so much for sharing.
Thank
I'll
you.
definitely connect with you at the end. I think there's so much opportunity there to really grow our businesses by working smart, right? And not hard. I mean, working on purpose. That's the whole theme of the summit as well. So I think there's knowledge is powerful, but also aligning yourself with the right support is absolutely what's going to get us to the next level. So that awareness is big. Well, thank you so much. I'm going on to my next speaker, Jeanette Lowry. Jeanette, thanks so much for coming on. Looking forward to getting.
Thanks for the invite. I've loved listening to all these businesses. It's so exciting to meet professionals who actually know what they're doing and what they're talking about. I am a 32-year entrepreneur and a grandma. I have been in the space of bundling brand partnerships. And right now, what I'm passionate about is trying to get moms home, out of the workplace, having their own business where they then can become the CEO. There's no glass ceilings and they can work in the pockets of their day. So when COVID hit, I was retired for 20 years because of residual income. And for people that don't really understand residual income, I like to point to Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. So I just want you guys to visualize this because it's a really important part of my business. On the left side of the quadrant, we have those people that work for somebody else 9 to 5, and we have the self-employed. Usually you buy yourself a job. If you're self-employed alone, you're working 24/7, right? So the left side of the quadrant is where 95% of people operate, but only 5% of the wealth is generated on that side of the quadrant. On the other side of the quadrant, we have the CEOs, the big businesses, franchises, and the investors. Those are the folks that create 95% of the wealth, but there's only 5% of us on that side of the quadrant. So in order to leverage yourself, you either have to have capital or you have to have bundling of systems like a franchise. So what I do is I try and put into women's minds that they need to have a plan B. With everything going on, I call it the 3Ds. You know, if you've ever been in an event, divorce, death, or a deceptive person, you really struggle to figure out what's next. And I was there, which is why I was so blessed and grateful that I had built a business that for 7 years built a business where the consumers loved the product. I stepped out for 20 years. They didn't care if I stepped out because they were going to still buy the products, bundled together with a lot of other people. There's leverage. So when COVID hit, I decided, the great exodus, 48 million people left the workforce, social media, internet, global business. I created a online work through the, times that fit for you, a 16-week program whereby I teach women from A to Z how to start their business. Wellness is a big part of it, mental, physical, all the things that have to do with mindset and reprogramming, which I heard talked about here today. So the wellness area, then the business area, all things social media, developing platforms, understanding how to do posts, how to find your right person that you want to work with and or have them use the product, and the back office, the systems that you get from this brand partnership. $200 million system, doesn't cost you anything, but you can then track everything in your business globally. It's a huge benefit for people that want to start a business and they don't have the capital. So you can start your own business from home. Then we teach the monetization, which is the wealth creation portion of the business during the 16 weeks. And it's all interactive on Zooms during the week and I shouldn't say and they go online and work through the modules, the lessons, etc., that I've developed. So women that want to, be their own CEO, come home, be with their kids, and take the glass ceiling away. There's no glass ceiling with this compensation or monetization of your business. And you can just pour into this business everything that lights you up. Like you were saying before, one of you were saying, you've got to really feel that part of your heart that turns you on. I've always told people I haven't worked a day in my life because I am so turned on and passionate about what I can do to help women get ahead, get out of their own heads, and make the money they're worth.
Yeah, well, powerful stuff. I mean, to have the freedom to make the choices we want, especially as women or moms, I think it's very powerful. And the fact that there's opportunities that exist out there to align ourselves with is powerful. So I love that. It's very smart. So someone will have the blueprint, pretty much how to grow the business, and then the business model is the product. Is that what it is?
The business model is structured with a team. You're supported by a team. There's mentorship involved, personal growth. So the product is just the tool, but the system is where the money is.
Wow, powerful. I could see the passion. So wow, amazing stuff. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jeanette. And nice to have met you as well. And I'm going to my last but not least speaker, Jess Berry. Jess, thank you so much for coming on. Looking forward to getting to know you better. I could share with us what is it that you do as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. It's been awesome listening to all you guys share your journeys and everything that you're working on. So I am a victory coach. I started a one-on-one mindset coaching business. I work with individuals who have experienced sexual abuse in their lives. A lot of the times people who go through sexual trauma find themselves stuck in the past. They're sabotaging their relationships. They have low self-confidence. They spend their lives feeling worthless and broken and unlovable, and really just living in a fear-based reality. So what I do is I work with them and provide the guidance and support to a love-based reality. So I know there's been a lot of talk about self-love, which is awesome. So I help individuals develop a victory mindset instead of the victim mindset. We work together to cultivate a deeper alignment with their purpose and their pursuit of that purpose and their presence in life, helping them to have more healthy relationships, increase their confidence, and just be more fully engaged with their own lives.
Well, that's mission fueled work for sure, to help people that might have been in that situation. So that would be my next question for you, Jess. What are some of the advice that you would have for someone that's been in that situation, or maybe they're finding themselves in that now? You don't know where everyone is in the journey, that you feel will help someone else that might be in that.
Yeah, I think that no matter where someone is at in their own journey of mindfully healing, I use the IAPL framework. So living intentionally, accountably, powerfully, and then living in the present. So as we each take steps to live intentionally, then we're working to cultivate a more focused existence instead of just reacting to everything that life throws our way, right? And then living accountably is showing up and just showing up consistently for ourselves first, and then that allows us to show up for other people in our lives as well. Living powerfully is more about taking ownership for what's in our control and just focusing on that more. And then living in the present is creating meaning in the here and now instead of staying stuck in the past. And a big part of that is the mind-body connection. So I work with people and help them use tools of movement and the outdoors, and help them to realign their mind and body connection that way.
Yeah. Well, powerful stuff. Thanks so much, Jess. Thanks so much for the work you do day to day. That's really, really
Absolutely.
important. And so many more people that need support in all these areas based on our life experience. I feel like that's really how we raise consciousness and help each other out. So I would get inspired by everyone really at the end of the day. So I really want to thank all my beautiful guest speakers today for all the knowledge and expertise that they shared with us. We've reached the end of this event in our summit today, and I'm just going to go around and ask each of the speakers one final question. We will start with Angie. What does it mean to you to build a life and business on purpose? And also, where is it that people can continue the conversation with you?
Well, thank you so much. And thank you to my fellow guests. I've learned so much. I was over here taking notes. It was wonderful. So for me, living a purpose driven life and operating a purpose driven business is all about service to others. And as I shared very briefly, coming over, I overcame an adversity, and I never want people to have to experience some of the things that I've experienced in business. And so it's amazing whenever I can help someone and empower someone so that they don't ever have to be told things like that's all you're worth ever again. And I love the conversation about shattering that glass ceiling and taking control of your income, because it does award us with opportunities to make choices. So yeah, and it fuels me. That's the fuel that gets me up every day. That's like, who do I get to impact today? What type of impact do I get to make on the world today? And I view that as a gift that I take very, very seriously. And the best way for people to find me online is LinkedIn. Angie Giltner, Giltner, is my name. And I look exactly like this in all my pictures. So you will not miss me in my purple hair. So thank you again. You've been a gracious host, and I am amongst some very amazing guests. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful. Andy?
Yes, thank you. Been a really interesting session. For me, I think it's about living your life the way that you want and not the way other people tell you you should. I think having your own business gives you control. So make sure you keep hold of that control. Be selfish. This is about you and nobody else. So you make it fit into your life and you make it run the way you want it to run. Now, you can listen to all the people here today and we'll all tell you some fantastic things, but you've got to take away the bits that work for you and the bits that are going to fit with you. And I think that's sort of the big message for me, is just be in control of it yourself. You know, you don't listen to all the noise and stuff around from everybody else telling you, oh, this is the way you should do it, and this is what you should do, and you have to be up at 5 o'clock every morning doing the golden hours and all this sort of stuff. You don't. You can do the processes that are in some of those things, and we'll give you some fantastic processes that you can take away, but you then have to put them into your life to work the way that you want. So just keep that in mind. Be selfish. It's your business. Enjoy it, love it, and run it the way that you want. And if people want to get hold of me, it's Andy Guile, Guile. You'll find me on LinkedIn. You'll find me on Facebook, where we've got the Business Duck Pond group, which people would be more than happy to come and see. Or just drop me an email, andyguile@askandyguile.co.uk. And I'd love to have a coffee with anybody who wants to have a chat.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Andy, for that as well. And by the way, you will receive all the links for our speakers inside our Facebook group, our page, all our social media. So you don't have to write down where everyone is. And I always encourage connection over everything. So our beautiful speakers should definitely set up a one-to-one. That's how we build relationships. And I definitely align with what Angie said. Service, how do we add value to one another? And beautiful things always happen out of that, for sure. All right, Elise, your final message, and where is it that people can continue the conversation with you as well?
Absolutely. And I love the theme of this. And thank you so much for having us here. The idea of a purposeful life and business is all about the intentionality that you put into it, right? And I feel like that comes from our alignment with our higher power. And so having that purposeful life and business is truly partnering with your higher power, and so that you don't have to do it by yourself, and believing that you can do it even though you may have had failed experiences in the past. So you are closer to gold than you think you are. Hold on to that, and hold on to that faith and that belief, and that will create that purposefulness and that alignment that you're looking for. And I'd love to connect with anyone who really resonates with this message. I have a free Facebook group called Faithful Ladypreneurs, where you can come and advertise your business on Saturday's comment thread. We have free networking events where you can connect with other Christian women entrepreneurs. And you can also go to our website, divinelydrivenresults.com, and we can hop on a call and see where you're at in your business and help you to strategize on how to partner with God in your business and reach those income goals that God has set for you.
All right. Awesome. Aliyah? Aliyah, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm just having a hard time unmuting. It just kept going back and forth. So for me, living on purpose means being loyal to my soul and not to my conditioning. So conditioning would be, say, like, I'm afraid to show up, but then I need to look at my soul. My soul came here to show up. So just keeping that little framework in mind, it helps me. Anyone who wants to connect with me, they can find me on social media on all the platform. I'm Alia, ALIA_the Love Coach. And I do a free weekly workshop every single Thursday. Right after this, I'm hopping onto that. So if anyone wants to join and just start learning what I offer, that would be a good place to start as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Lisa?
Thank you so much for this today. It's been so inspiring and so great to meet all of you. Like I said earlier, it's not about productivity, it's about purposivity. And I really truly believe that starts in our heart first, not in our calendars, and starts with knowing who we are and whose we are, and that God has a purpose for us, and then being able to live and focus on what matters in this season while keeping eternity in mind as well, about what is going to last longer than us. And really taking that time to refill each morning, like Elise referred to, and have that time to refill so that it's not just us that's pouring out all day long. So we'd love to connect with you guys. I have a podcast called Redeem Her Time. I also have a free community and a free guide. So best way to find all of those is just go to redeemhertime.com, and you can grab the links to all of that and or send me an email, and I'd love to connect.
All right. Thanks so much, Lisa. And Chevy, I'll catch you before you go. Where is it that people can connect with you if you're still here?
Hello. Were you meeting Shay or who?
Shay, yes.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't jumping in anybody else's place. All right. So yeah, again, just reiterating what everybody said, I absolutely am amazed at all of the stories that I've heard today, and I'm so excited. I'm glad that I was here to hear and witness most of it, of course. And so what I say is, what's purpose? What does a purposeful life look like for me? I left a very big position, very big corporate life to come and serve because the Lord did tell me to do so. So, I'm a big follower of Jesus, love him very much. And my life is centered around, wanting to passionately connect with people. So I've always, throughout my life, that's what I've done. I've loved and cared for people. And I think that it was, I was kind of not able to do that in a way when you have, all these conditions and restrictions. So I left, and I wanted to connect with people and share my talents and be able to just help authentically. And I think that's really been exciting to see that that's happening right now. And so I feel fulfilled knowing that I can continue to be in front of people that need help, and I can authentically help them get to where they need to go. If you want to connect with me further and again, discuss whether or not if paid ads is the right, method for you, or at least, what to do to get prepared for paid ads if you're looking for that. I'm on Facebook. My name is Shay, Chey, Kalu, Kalu, and then Prophet, like the Bible, Shea Kalu Prophet. And I can be found on Facebook. I can be found on LinkedIn. I can be found on Instagram. And so if you would like to connect any of those ways, please do so. Give me a shout out and I'd be happy to chat with you.
All right. Thank you again. Beautiful. Jeanette?
Yes, so JeanetteLowry.com is my website. And right now I've have a beta program going for 4 weeks, and it absolutely takes the women from 16 weeks down to 4, compressing it into a 4-week program. So my boot camp is available starting September 18th. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn, Jeanette Lowry, Lowry. And, I just say, have a plan B. You just don't know when you're going to need that residual income coming in on the side. This is not about quitting your job day one. It's about over time. It's like compounded interest in the bank. Same difference, only it's through networks of people who are consuming the same products through a portal.
Yeah. All right. And Jess?
I would say that a way to really tune into that purpose is honoring the voice of your inner child. I think that there's that voice inside of all of us that just knows like what you're supposed to be doing and how you can show up to other people. And so just creating a space for that inner child to feel worthy and enough and
yeah, it seems like we have a poor connection with you, Jess, but I'll definitely include the links. I thank you so much for everything you shared with us as well. To continue the conversation with Jess. And it's a wrap. Thank you so much to all my amazing speakers. I always get filled up with each event that we do here at the Life School. We're always looking to create these spaces for speakers to come in, share their message, connect, and really nurture relationships with other purpose-driven conscious leaders. Because I really truly feel that conscious leaders, conscious entrepreneurs are definitely going to change the world. So thank you so much for coming on, and you'll find our events all over social media and on our YouTube channel, and all the speakers will be tagged there. And I encourage everyone to connect with everyone because there's nothing like relationships. There's nothing like really adding value. So thanks again, and I will see you in another event. Bye, everybody. I want to share with you the 4 books that would change your life personally and professionally. So the first book is Connecting the Dots Backwards, one of the books I've written that will help you connect the dots between your past, your present, and your future life vision. You will find topics in there around marketing, sales, spirituality, relationships, all the areas that you need to be fulfilled as a human being. The second book that I've written, which is a journal, accompanies the Connecting with the Dots book. And this journal will help you apply the information that you learn in the book into a journal. It has self-guided questions that you can go through and into to get the clarity that you need to discover your values, your vision, and your mission. This is a journal attaching the book as well. And then Purpose-Driven Entrepreneurship is my latest book where I have included my legacy framework in building legacy businesses, everything from mindset, branding, marketing, sales, systems, and team. And I have connected all the dots between all those areas so that you have the fundamentals that you need to build a truly legacy empire. And then my latest creation is the Focus on Purpose Planner for increased productivity and efficiency, where I have included a framework around your productivity where you can plan ahead, work on purpose, and leave amazing impact on the planet with your work. You can find any of my books on the website below, elonaloparicoaching.com books. And definitely grab your copy. Let me know, leave me a review on Amazon, and let me know how this book has impacted you and changed your life.